She ran a good campaign. Just in 107 days, she worked hard. She went all across America. She excited many young people. It was heartbreaking. It was something that was not something we were hoping for or we were expecting. From the exit polls, we see that nearly 50% of the voters, he has articulated three different issues that are on voters' mind. And voters saw that Donald Trump has understood their concerns. Gave Donald Trump a mandate because they saw Donald Trump as an agent of change.
Congressman Thanedar, thank you so much for talking to me, and I appreciate your time. Now, Kamla Harris ended her presidential race with her concession speech at Harvard University following her loss to Republican opponent Donald Trump. Your key takeaways from that speech?
Well, she ran a good campaign. Just in 107 days, she worked hard. She went all across America. She excited many young people, and she, did her best. And I think her speech was uplifting to people. Never give hope. As long as we keep fighting, this fight is not a short-lived fight. It's going to take a little bit, but we need to continue to fight, and we will eventually win. I think that was her message. She also showed a class by saying that she will help the transition. She was gracious enough to reach out to President-elect Trump. She showed what a good leader she is, and she fought a good fight.
All right. Let's rewind a little bit and take you back. Not less than 24 hours ago, America began to get a sense of where the elections were really leaning. What were you thinking when the polls began to close and one by one, states turned red and very little blue?
It was heartbreaking. It was something that was not something we were hoping for or we were expecting. But I do understand the voter sentiment. And it is time for Democrats, my party, to understand where the voters are coming from and what is it that the voters are saying and what have they said through their exercise of their voting rights. What have they said through the ballots? We need to really pay attention to that, and we need to do a lot of soul searching and introspecting to understand the voter sentiment and the message that the voters have sent it to us.
Right. Now, who, according to you, are these voters, who gave President-elect Donald Trump this kind of a massive lead? Hello?
Yes. No, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Did you hear me?
No.
Okay. Talk to us about, who do you think are those voters who were out there, who went and voted for Donald Trump and gave him that massive lead?
Well, look, from the exit polls, we see that nearly 50% of the voters, people that are living from paycheck to paycheck, people that are struggling to put food on the table, kitchen table issues, expenses, paying for health care, paying for groceries, gasoline, paying for your children's education. So people are struggling. These are the people who work with their own hands, whether they are auto workers, or whether they are teachers or firefighters. Some of them, many of them, may or may not have a college degree, but they work hard. They work hard to raise their family, and they're all struggling. The cost of living has gone up substantially. $100, what it used to bring in terms of groceries just 3-4 years ago, today that's not the case. The buying power has gone down, and people are hurting. And people feel that the current administration is responsible for the economic situation. And they have sent a clear message. And what Donald Trump has done is that he has articulated 3 different issues that are on voters' mind. And voters saw that Donald Trump has understood their concerns and their fears and their hardship. And they let Donald Trump gave Donald Trump a mandate because they saw Donald Trump as an agent of change at this time.
Right. In your view, do you think an anti-incumbency, played any role here, or do you think that the Democratic Party something went amiss within the party, something that they overseed or overlooked, something that they ignored clearly?
Well, look, the current economic problems, the price increases, the inflation, all of this came from the supply issues, largely originating from the COVID pandemic. And we have seen a rise of inflation across the world, but people are still hurting. And people, regardless of how you're going to reason it, people are hurting, and they held the current administration, Biden-Harris administration, responsible for the current economic issues and economic problems. And Trump talked about the cost of living. Trump talked about inflation, economic issues. And he also talked about the southern border and the chaos and migrants entering the United States illegally. And he also talked about the war in Ukraine, the war in Israel. So these are the issues that he correctly identified that are of concern to the voters. More than half of the voters are concerned about this. And when Donald Trump presented these problems, articulated these problems, people gravitated towards him because people are hurting and they want these problems solved.
Right. What's the path forward for the Democrats with the House, the Senate, and soon the executive office? All would be controlled by the Republicans. Do you see any hope there?
Yes. Look, Donald Trump has gotten a mandate from the people, but he has to deliver. Will he be able to deliver? Will he be able to make an impact on the inflation? What would he do with the price gouging by the corporations? How would he address that? How would will he provide enough border security, police, border agents? Will there be enough judges to handle the cases of asylum at the border? How would he deal with undocumented immigrants? Will he be able to fix our broken immigration system? How will he tackle Ukraine? What ideas he have? Because he has articulated the problems, but when asked about a solution, he often talked about he has a concept of a solution, but he never really articulated clear solutions to these problems. Now, it is his responsibility. The voters have put their trust in him, and the voters are going to judge him for his performance. Now he has to deliver. And if he does not deliver, in 2 years, when we have congressional elections in 2026, the voters will punish him if he cannot deliver, will not deliver.
Right. Now, one can't take away from Donald Trump that he's made a political comeback and how. Your comments on that? And Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was one of the first ones to congratulate President-elect Donald Trump. Do you think the bonhomie between the two leaders could play a role somewhere to take this relationship even higher or probably to the next level?
It is possible. However, Trump has talked about putting tariffs on India and China and many other countries. That would really impact the economic exchange, that will impact the commerce between these two countries. And if he really proceeds with his plans, that would become a big deterrent for a healthy U.S.-India relations. There is a lot that needs to be done. We have seen attacks on the minorities. Minority Hindus have been attacked in Bangladesh. Hindu places of worships have been attacked in Canada. And we have seen a lot of attacks on Hindu temples here in the United States. Can Donald Trump protect these minorities? Will he protect the rights, human rights of Hindus all across the world, especially on U.S. soil? So all that remains to be seen. Yes, he has articulated the problems correctly. Yes, he has gotten the support of the people of the United States. Now he has to deliver, and that is the test. We will have to see. And if he's willing to put a good faith effort, Democrats will work with him. However, if he uses this mandate to give tax breaks to the billionaires, if he uses this mandate to take revenge against who he considers his enemies, it all depends on how he's going to use this mandate. If he's going to use this mandate to benefit Donald Trump, if you're going to use this mandate to go after his perceived enemies, and if he goes after this to help his rich friends, then people will punish him in 2 years.
All right. On that note, thank you so much for talking to ANI. Appreciate your time, Congressman.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.